Hey everyone, my name's James. It's been a little while. The purpose of this video is just to give you a life update, a health update, and what the plans going forward are for me in my life. Before I do that, I'm going to backtrack a little bit and show a piece of the puzzle that I didn't believe mattered anymore. So in April of 2022, I was diagnosed with an acute kidney injury. I went into stage 5 kidney failure and required emergency dialysis at UF Health North in Jacksonville, Florida. Thankfully, because of my age, I recovered relatively well. I went from stage 5 kidney failure to chronic kidney disease stage 3A. In the span of about 10 hours, my creatinine went from 1.2 to 10.6. That's all I remember about getting to the hospital. I don't remember going in, I don't remember none of that. I remember being in the ICU for a better part of 2 weeks almost. But thankfully, by the grace of God, I recovered. Following that event, my health started to improve, things started getting better, I started progressing in life, and just chasing my overall career goals. But you know what they say, just because it's your plan doesn't mean it's God's plan. And it's taken some time, but I finally accept that. In September of 2025, something clicked in my head to where I wanted to improve every single aspect of my life. I wanted to get better physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So physically, I got a personal trainer, started going to the gym. Mentally, I had a therapist, and I was seeing them regularly. It was covered by my insurance. Things were great. Emotionally, I started getting in touch with myself. I started doing a lot of research on stoicism. I'm probably saying that wrong. That's okay. And then spiritually, I started relying in the Bible. I'm a man of God, as I say, wearing St. Michael, and just trying to improve every aspect of my life. But everything had an end goal. You see, today's July 22nd, 2026. I lost roughly 75 to 80 pounds from September 13th to July 8th, 2026. It was great. I felt fantastic. Everything was going good. All of my lab works were coming back normal, and things were improving. But the end goal was that I was about to undergo some extremely intensive law enforcement based training here in Florida. And it's the summer. I should have known then. Well, anybody who's done any type of law enforcement work, at least in Florida, knows that they have what's called the FDLE baseline. The baseline is a 1.5 mile run, a 300-meter sprint, maximum push ups, maximum sit ups, a horizontal leap, and a vertical leap. That was fine. It sucked, but it was fine. I got through it. I couldn't run the full mile and a half. I couldn't sprint the 300-meter run because I have other neurological nerve issues. I still got through it. I pushed. After that, we did roughly about 2 hours of calisthenics. Got through the workout. Mentally, I felt amazing because I got through it. About 10 minutes after the workout, I go to use the bathroom, and my urine was the color of coffee and about as thick as some used motor oil, and it hurt. After that, I go back out into the hallway where there's a bunch of instructors, and this is where things start getting a little hazy. I don't fully remember everything. I remember getting dizzy. I remember getting tunnel visioned. I uh I remember stumbling a little bit, but according to them, I was slurring my words and my eyes were like really dilated. I don't remember any of that. I don't. They sat me down. Over the course of about 10 to 15 minutes, I had about 4 bottles of water. They ultimately made the decision to call fire rescue, and I was immediately transported to the hospital. The next thing I remember is getting taken out of the ambulance and put into a room. They transported me, and I was immediately put into a trauma room and was surrounded by doctors. Sadly, it wasn't an unknown feeling for me, but nonetheless, it's still a feeling I don't like. It's not something I enjoyed, especially considering how hard I worked to drop all this weight and get my entire life back in line of what I believe it should have been. It felt like a monumental setback, which ultimately it was, but we'll get into that. So they do some blood work, they do lab work. Um, Ultimately, I'm diagnosed with severe rhabdomyolysis, which is a muscle breakdown to the point it starts to affect your kidneys. They do an emergency EKG because I was having shortness of breath and a little bit of tightness in my chest. That revealed that my left anterior heart muscle, was flowing blood or pumping blood at about 45% when it should be 60 to 70 for my age. Not the end of the world, not too bad. Something to still be concerned of for a 30-year-old man. That's okay though. I was still mentally there. They gave me an unsurmountable amount of fluids, and I recovered quickly once again. The next day, my nephrologist team and my cardiovascular team comes into the room, and we have a very hard discussion about how I'm going to have to realign my life and my purpose. Ultimately saying that a sedentary office or work from home job will be the best for my organ health. Physically, I'm a lot better. I'm stronger now. I am. But my organs are something that are non-regenerative. You cannot recover kidneys. You cannot recover the heart. You can recover some of your liver, but I don't have liver issues. I've never been a drinker. um, so that's where we stand with that. It's been about a week since I've been out of the hospital now, and mentally I'm drained. I worked so hard to hit and achieve a goal, and ultimately it was snatched from me. But I'm trying to keep faith. I'm trying to hold faith and accept that this would have happened for a reason. There's still a purpose for me out there, and I believe that I'm taking steps in the right direction to get there. Sometimes I've learned that just because it's your plan doesn't mean that it's God's plan, and I'm trying to hold faith in that. It wasn't the ending that I expected, but I'm proud that I gave absolutely everything I had. Nobody can take the fact away from me that I was willing to die to achieve this goal. So mentally, I'm good with it. I'm at peace. I understand I can't control my organs, but mentally, I did absolutely everything possible to achieve that goal. I fell short, but I'm considering that a realignment from God, is what it is. So far, we're at our second acute kidney injury, our first acute heart injury, and loss of our dream job, trying to now navigate the waters and the path forward. So here's what we're looking at. I've re-enrolled for my schooling at FSCJ for computer information technology. I have formed an LLC known as Triumphant Development Group, which is going to be a indie video game studio and broad spectrum programming discipline. I am currently aiming to learn how to teach people to code, because there are certain things like, yes, AI is massive in this world and in this landscape, and it's only going to get better. But if we use our intellect, that's something that AI will never have. If we use our creativeness, AI will never have that. I am against it in the form of at least programming. So I want to do that. I want to build a community where everybody can come together. I still believe that I am called to serve. I believe that I'm called to serve a different path and different purpose now, but I do hold faith that I am called to serve, and this is my path forward. So the current plan is to continue growing Triumphant Development Group, complete my degree in computer information technology, and then I'm going to complete a degree in cybersecurity and IT awareness. Ultimately, I'm likely choosing the path to be a freelancer. I'm good with it. But as far as Triumphant Development Group goes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do content creation. I'm going to do video game streaming where I can break down processes of a video game and how to build them. Overall, I just want to build something where people feel safe to talk and safe to vent. Nobody should be alone in whatever they deal with. There's more than enough people out here to talk. And I believe that when you bottle stuff up or when you stop talking as a community, that's when bad things happen. So that's the plan. I want to build things that people enjoy and create communities around the things that people enjoy. That's the overall goal. I'm holding faith that just because God closed this door on me, that doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't mean that he didn't open another. Because the second that I was discharged from the hospital, this avenue opened up. Something that I didn't think would ever be opened up again because I was going down a different pathway. I was locked. I was focused. And I was tunnel visioned to that goal and that pathway. Anybody who knows me knows that I was extremely tunnel visioned. I ate on a strict time schedule, went to the gym same time every day. Every single thing about my life became structured immediately. But the second I get out of the hospital after this injury, my mind didn't change. I still have the desire to serve others. It just looks different. Sometimes God doesn't remove your purpose, He just changes the path that leads you to it. And I'm coming to terms with that, and I accept it. For those that have been around for the multiple years with me for my journey, I want to say thank you. For those that are new and are now following me and going to be part of this journey, thank you. As of now, Triumphant Development Group is going ahead full swing. The Ghostly X Night and Night Entertainment brand is going ahead full swing. We're going to be doing content creation and uploads that will be regular. We'll be live streaming on Kick and soon to be YouTube and TikTok, multi-streaming. And just trying to create a place where everybody can come together and feel safe. So just because my chapter in law enforcement is ending, doesn't mean that I'm ending. I'm evolving. So I thank you all for being here. I thank you for being part of my journey, and I look forward to seeing you in the future. Thank you so much. As always, God first, God bless.